Welcome to another illustrious episode of KraigFacts, the show where you learn facts and laugh. Shit, I got my esteemed guest in here, man. Somebody that is, I've been watching his videos for a minute.
We already rolling.
I'm a history buff, especially when it comes to sports and streets and war. I love history. Y'all know that about me. So I got somebody in here, man, that has been a part of a lot of historic moments in Southern California rap and gang culture. Y'all in the comments, man, y'all go ahead and say what's up to Bounty Hunter BJ.
What's up with it? What's up with it out there, TV land? What's up with it? What's up with it, man?
What's up?
We in the building. The W is in the building representing, man. Also representing Los Angeles as well, man. My city, man. I love my city, LA, man. We're in the building, man. I'm sitting right here right now, man, with KraigFacts, man. If you want your facts, you're going to get them right here today, man.
Hey,
y'all
man.
already know, the people already know out there, man. I'm uncut. For the people, by the people, to the people, man.
Hey,
you feel me? Yes, sir.
We're gonna take y'all on a journey. I'm gonna ask him some shit that's probably gonna trip him out here and there. You know what I'm saying? But man, I know a few little things about Watts. Was you a green jacket? Or you was too young for that?
I was too young, even though what you doing knowing about some green jackets. What you doing knowing about the green jacket?
Yeah.
But funny you say that though, because I have a novel soon to be released. I'm looking at a Christmas date now because, I'm dealing with my publishing company. They done stagnated me for almost a whole year on my book. And from the book, I got a screenplay that I wrote as well. So I'm going to be looking forward to it hitting the big screen and making a couple of stars from this book, man, for some youngsters, upcoming youngsters, man, in the acting world.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. But the Green Jackets itself was established through my big homies in the first generation coming out the projects.
Definitely. Now at one point, For those of y'all don't know what a bounty hunter is, that's the Nickerson Guard. That's a staple, gang from that area. But to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong. At one point, the Nickersons and the Imperial Courts were both in the Green Jackets. It was one gang at one point, right?
It was more or less the Nickerson and the Imperial Courts. They had members that was from over there because you gotta understand and remember. In the 60s and the 70s, before 1969, 70, going into 71, 72, really 73, 74, was the separation that came about in Watts when it came down to the first generation as far as depicting whether you're going to be with this movement, which was the Crip movement. You know what I'm saying? Community revolution in progress. At that time, people thought it was the spinoff of the Black Panthers. So a lot of people in the city, and again, I was a young cat at the time, but still I remember my history and my parents and my father and my uncles and the teachings of it. So this is why I'm able to speak on it in the forms of where I come from as far as what I've experienced, what I've seen. And you had people who lived in each housing projects,
right,
who were actually cousins and aunties and uncles who descended from the South, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, you name it. And so we were all central in Watts once upon a time. So it was just the W was just one big, huge community.
Right.
Blacks. There wasn't nothing but blacks in there. You may have a sprinkle, a Spanish Mexican here, or you may have a white that got left behind who was a poor white trailer trash, a real poor white trailer trash white who grew up in the community amongst blacks and was accepted. It wasn't a variety of them.
Right.
You feel me? And so that's where the Green Jackets come about as far as my neighborhood, and then others from Imperial Courts who was merged into it because it was just one big community as far as blacks. It wasn't no gang. It was no, red and blue, or it wasn't broke down into colors.
Right,
right. Just like you had the Pygmies coming from out the Jordan Downs, which was a huge family, but it was a movement of them.
Yeah,
so
right.
You had the Pygmies during the Green Jacket days.
Right. Yeah, I took you back. We talking about the late '60s right now.
Yeah, like the go far as the West. That's when we talking about the Slauson boys and you know, them cats over there. So it was just cliques.
First piece of pussy you ever bought?
Man, hey,
What happened? Why'd you buy the pussy? How'd you stumble up on the bra? What made you give? You know what I'm saying? We all done bought some pussy.
hey, hold up, Craig. Hold up, Craig. I know you a professional actor, comedian, all man. We come from that world. But this ninja just asked me, TV Land, what was the first piece of pussy I bought?
Yeah, with my
I ain't never ever bought no pussy, Craig.
Never?
Ever.
Oh,
but hold
man.
on. Then again, check this out. Even coming from that world, right? Even most of us who had this little playing field at this time, right?
Hey, man, talk about it, right?
I have to break down, I have to admit with you, I may not bought it for as an overall deal, like
Right.
how much,
Right.
but we all to pay for some pussy
Yeah.
sometime or another. You right, because if you go on a date,
You paying.
and you eat, right?
Yeah.
And you go fuck, what's that? It's equivalent to you just bought some ass.
When did you realize, because a lot of niggas don't understand, but when did you realize you was paying? Because it's a different, when did you realize, oh, I'm paying, so I got to be the boss of this? Because a lot of niggas is paying and they still ain't the boss.
Early in the game. I was taught right. I was taught by some of the best. So I learned early in the game, 14, 15 years old.
Hell yeah. Real spill. So you was sending bitches at one point.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Can't be dictating me in my pocket.
That's real spill, man.
He say, when did you buy your first piece of cunt?
Hey, man, I remember when I realized that I was a youngster, man. I had this broad. I really love that little bitch, right? And this bitch gave me a Christmas list. It had like 30 items on it, man. And I put on my sucker shoes, man. And I got all but one of them items, 29 of them items, man. And she ain't my bitch. So, you know, that's when I realized, oh, man, this is.
So you got 29 except one.
Hey, man, except
What happened
one.
to the last one, Craig?
Man, they ran out, man.
Oh.
You know, she could have totally humiliated me, but she mostly did. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So you grew up in the you grew up in the projects the whole entire time you was active, or did you move, or you know what was the environment like you growing up? Like what part of the Nickersons did you grow up in?
No, I come up from the hood 1970, since 1970, 69 going into 70. Late 69 going to 70, we moved into the projects. And I've been there ever since. Not physically, we lived in there for about 35 years, physically. Then my parents moved out, and I ended up losing my parents back to back. I lost my moms, you know, my king, my queen, and my little brother in between, bro. And that's what really, really clinged me and led me to the streets as far as me building this name and becoming Bounty Hunter BJ, because the loss of my parents, because at one point in time in my life, you know, sports was my world.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up with a football and baseball and a glove in my hand. You know, I went to sleep with it, woke up with it. That was my world, because I had already had a vision in my mind as a young kid. I was gonna make it.
Yeah.
Feel me? I was gonna make it both ways though.
Yeah.
Both sports. You know, and it was just embedded in my mind until I took that other path, and that was because I rebelled against God, because I thought, you know, God did something really, really bad to me, specifically because he took my parents. Like, why would you step into a perfect family who's loving, the siblings all get along, they're taught and groomed by their parents, they got both parents in their life.
Yeah.
Why would you separate that as opposed to, I'm looking at this dope fiend over here, and this nigga mama still alive, and she had been a dope fiend for 45 years. That could have been my mother.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So the shit made me rebel, and I was very angry against God for that, because I didn't understand at that time. And I just took off. I told the devil, give me the red suit, man.
Man.
I'm finna be one of your number one warriors. Give me that motherfucking suit.
Man.
And I took off, bro. And for 30 years, 30 active years, man, I gave 30 years, 30 fucking years of my life that now when I sit back as a grown man, a king, a father, a soon-to-be grandfather, a big uncle, a big brother, a mentor to those out there, man, you know, youngins, YGs. It's like, bro, I look back on this shit on me, and I have a life of fucking regrets. Because I know my mentality. I know my wits. I know my intelligence, my integrity. I know I'm educated, and I'm always striving and thriving and forcing myself to continue to educate myself. No matter my age bracket, no matter the older I get, I still want to be wiser and wiser. I want to learn more. I want to know stuff. It's like, bro, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So now I try to deliver it to these youngins out here, and to my YGs throughout the world who depict and took on this mimic of Los Angeles gang shit now. Right. And they spread it like diarrhea and wildfire. So I'm speaking against it really, bro, in essence. But I'm delivering the message in a form as the OG that I am, because I know that I can speak their lingo to the point where if I could just sit them down, once I can sit them all down in a room and I can get them to listen.
Yeah.
And once they tune in and listen, I got them.
You ever been shot?
Oh, man, I've ever been shot on 3 different occasions, man.
First time you got shot, why? What happened?
In a gunfight. I was in a fight, physical fight. Somebody had a pistol. I didn't have a pistol. They had the pistol. And, you know, I ended up blocking the blow, and it tore all my nail off my nail. And when I went to block the blow, because he fired. Once he fired, I dipped out of it and it hit me. The gun went out, boom, shot me in my neck.
Oh, he tried to hit you with the gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was my first incident, man. Then another incident, I got hit. Got hit in a criminal element situation. You know, me and a couple of crimies was doing some wrongdoing, and I got hit. And then my last situation, I got hit with an AK assault rifle. Man, got my tibia and fibula blown apart. Got hit in my hip. Piece of lead was still distorted in my back for about 7 years. So I finally got it removed about 9 years ago now. It's been about 9 years.
Who introduced you to gangbanging?
Who introduced me to gangbanging?
Yeah, like who walked you into it?
Well, coming up in the projects, it's shit. You're introduced to it from the time you're moved into them projects, man. You're introduced to it because you see it. You know, when it first started for us, and the bounty hunters we merged from the Green Jackets to become the bounty hunters, and from the green to the red, and the red kicked in, and the red became this significant colors for us. It was like, it's red over here. It's nothing but red.
Right.
Then as a kid, 8, 9, 7, 6, 10, 11, it's embedded in you because you see the shit every day. Even though you're going to school,
right?
But you see bodies. You see a dead body over here, and you're on your way to elementary school. Or you see 4 or 5 big homies just hanging out who don't go to school, and they got on these colors, and they got the flags on, looking like gangsters. So it's like it becomes embedded in your head and in your mind to the point where you start mimicking it as a kid.
Right.
But again, for me, the introduction of it for me was I started seeing it once I moved into my neighborhood and I was growing up, but I was living 2 different characteristics of lives. I solely was dedicated and devoted to sports.
Right.
So I first built a young name at 13 to my 17-year-old of age. I built a real big name for myself in my neighborhood as a major as a major sports player, because I played football and baseball well. I swam, I did gymnastics, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a lost art, and brothers don't do gymnastics no more.
Yeah, oh no, man, that was one of the biggest things in LA and in Watts back then in the 70s. I'm talking about huge. But some of your toughest gangsters today, gang members and gangsters, OGs, you talk to them niggas, they tell you saying, oh yeah, nigga, I was a hell of a tumbler. Hell of a tumbler.
Yeah,
that was the biggest thing back in our city back then, man.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Crips came to the Gardens trying to get, y'all to become Crips? Do you remember that time, that era? If you do, who came and how did that go?
They never actually made it in our hood. They never marched inside the projects. As far as to my recollection, to my memory, they never ever marched on us. I remember us going to them. I remember my big homie Ray Boyce. I remember Joe Barker and them. I remember us meeting up at Will Rogers Park, and I remember my big homie specifically. I remember my big homies and them squaring off with Jermaine, Big Tookie, and whatever the words that they was exchanging. I was just a young nigga in the trenches watching there and experiencing it, but I remember that shit specifically. Right. And from that point, I remember when the Jordan Downs took on their initiative to where, okay, we're Jordan Down Crips now. So they became JD Crips, the Jordan Down Crips.
They used to just be Jordan Downs.
Just Jordan Downs. from like I said, it was the pygmies.
What year was
Pygmies
that?
basically ran out everything over there back then.
So before the Blood and the Crippin came in, was y'all fucking with the Jordan Downs, or it was always?
Oh yeah, we like I said, Watts was you can roam to every housing project for about 15 years before gangs kicked in. We had at least a decade and a half because the housing projects was born and birthed. Us was 1955. The first housing projects was High Santa Village was the first housing projects that were built, 1944. Then you got the Jordan Downs. Pure Courts was 1947. And then you have Jordan Downs, which was 1955 as well, or 45 up in that area. But they built all the housing projects because they were army barracks for white folks who lived in the projects at first because their husbands went on to war for World War I and II. So they was actually army barracks. That's why they was built so solid and to withstand, pressure and withstand different tornadoes or whatever, weathers. And when they moved out, they pushed us in the projects. And when I say push, it was a time where when our family, all your folks who were coming from descended from the South, who was coming to California for a better life or coming to the West or Northern California for a better life, the surprise for them was when they got here, the train had to stop in Watts because you couldn't go downtown to Union Station or your ass would be hung.
Right.
You feel me? So everything black had to get off in Watts.
Right.
So when they got off the train in Watts, guess what? You only had 4 different choices and directions you can go within the perimeters of Watts. Jordan Down Housing Projects, Imperial Courts, Nixon Gardens, or High Sanders, or the housing areas within the perimeters.
Right.
So it confided us all together at one time.
Right.
So by being that way, we were all one whole black community like that, which was a beautiful thing when it was like that, bro, because it was unity, homie. It was straight unity amongst us. I remember in 69 going into 70, white police was so dominant in Los Angeles then. And I remember the dashikis, the afros, the black power, the afro picking, the afro. I remember all this from our adults back then, right?
Right.
And fuck you crackers. Like when the police rolled, but fuck you crackers. And cussing them out because the police was really crooked, bro, and beating niggas' asses back then, So it was just really that whole oppression, that whole movement, a lot of our people was just fed up to the point where it just kept us unified. But when the gangs came about because the spinoff of the Black Panther movement, and we thinking as blacks, because bro, I know for a fact, just from my opinion, should I say, there's no way Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington, which was the 2 founders of Crippin coming about and coming to play into our city, right? And becoming a plague 60-something years down the line, just as well as Bloods, right? There's no way that these brothers had a visionary then that, Crips, which stood for something positive at first, we're going to become the biggest genocides of life.
Right.
They didn't know that shit, bro.
Right.
You feel me? There's no way they could have knew that because they was kids. They was 15, 16-year-old kids coming from Louisiana and Texas, descending from the South to Los Angeles.
Right.
And it's just crazy because when I sit back and I think about that as being, a former ex-gang leader, former member, retiree, I sit back and I just think about that shit, bro, and I be like, damn, just think if Tookie and Raymond would have really took the shit to a whole nother level with the Black Panther formula, where would it took us then? Where would it put us? But then you gotta always know subconsciously in your mind, if you ever really been in these streets and you know about the criminal elements, then subconsciously you'll know then, shit, ain't no telling where it would have took us, but I know this, it still would have been thrown in the game because as long as Fat Boy was alive, which was J. Edgar Hoover, we were gonna have problems.
You ever step on a bird?
the pen. I slept on a few birds down. Nigga, you think you call me with that right there, Craig? Boy, you cold, boy.
A lot of niggas say they was good cooks back in the day.
Cold piece with that one. Hey, see, but TV there think you talk about Asher and Birdie.
I mean, a lot of people say they was stepping on them.
Hey, this my answer. You hear them shoes, boy?
That's how niggas was getting the money back in the day, man. You turned
man.
36 into 72, man. Who taught you how to cook? Did you ever say, was you ever?
My big homie, Boo Boo Atkins.
Okay.
Shout out to Boo Boo Atkins, man. On 9th Street, man. My big homie, Boo Boo Atkins, man. Showed me how to whip that fucking Binker bottle, man.
What's the first time you ever seen a kilo?
Oh, shit. Through Boo Boo.
Through Boo Boo?
Yep. Through Boo Boo, man. Through Boo Boo. From Boo Boo, then Face, the big homie Face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me, Wizard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Manpower.
Right. So what was that environment like? I got an uncle your age that told me a story about when crack first hit and he was hustling. He said the police for like the first year was behind the ball. They didn't know what it was. He said one time he was on his bike, he had about a half ounce rocked up, and they pulled him over on his bike and they took the bag and was like, "What the fuck is this candy?" and threw the candy. Where the weed at? They didn't know what crack was.
Wow.
Do you remember that period of gullibility? When that shit first hit before the police really knew what was going on. You remember that what it was like then?
I can't say that I remember like if I had an experience where I've seen it myself, but I know that it happened.
Right.
I know that it have happened where some of them was that gullible where they didn't really know what crack was. They didn't know that shit was actually crack or dope.
Yeah, because they were looking for powder.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I always hear the story from family, especially my Watts family, about one day the FBI left a train full of guns at some railroad station, and niggas went and just grabbed all these guns that came from the government. They just magically appeared in the hood. What's your take on that? Have you heard that theory? If so, what's your take on that?
I was there. I was 16.
Okay.
This is when I got my first Tech 9.
Right.
This is how they introduced and threw Tech 9s into Watts, into the hands of the young black boys like myself, the dumb, gullible, vulnerable, willing to go out, crash dummy ass niggas and kill another black man. This is what they did to us, bro.
What year are we talking?
We talking about 78, 79.
Okay, yeah.
Straight up. We talking about going into the year 78 to 79 because I had caught my first body in 79, bro.
Right. That's when you can get a 7 to life, right?
Yeah. See, that's when nigga go do a murder and go do his little 4-5 years, come back home, nigga. On swole, pop another nigga, go do another.
Nigga get out stripping and shit, nigga.
They shut all that shit down. I said, hold on, these niggas got 3-4 bodies and coming home.
Yeah.
How they even getting out? When they shut that down, boy, and start giving nigga out 1,000 years.
Yeah. So you hit the pen in 78 or 79?
No, YA.
YA, okay, yeah.
I had to go through the grooming process first to groom me for the pen, but I was destined already.
Yeah.
When I hit YA.
YA is more wild than the pen.
Oh man, in some cases, hell yeah. TS, YTS.
Yeah, the pen niggas. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So anywho, they what happened was, like you said, they came through Watts and they derailed 2 trains. It wasn't just one train, one particular train. They derailed like a half a mile radius of 2 trains, meaning that they came on our section, boom. So from Central Avenue, all that's Bellhaven. Central Avenue, all that's Bellhaven. And then you have WLCC. So the trains sit right between that alleyway right there, which our backyard is right there.
Right.
It's Nixon Garden. So we got these trains sitting there for about 2 days. Go back west, go east of the tracks going toward east, you got the Jordan Downs, the Blue Gates, High Center Village, 110th. You got that whole segment right there. They derailed the train right there between 103rd and Compton Avenue. And in them trains was furniture, which was the throw off. It was furniture, washing machines, appliances, stuff like that. People start looting and stealing. But in the middle of the trains in the carts were weapons in crates.
There's some COINTELPRO type shit.
Yeah, weapons in crates, bro. And for, like I say, for 2 days, because we used to play on the tracks and we used to cut through our little cutway from Vermin Day and go straight to 109 Park, Todd Park. And that's how we noticed the trains.
Right.
So I had a little spot over there where we used to ditch school at. I had a spot, the little female I used to fuck with at her house right there. So me being how I am at a young age, experimental, nigga knows he want to know why is them trains sitting there? Can we get some money up out of this shit or what? You feel me? I go holler at my big homie Donnie Boy, he seen the trains there too as well. So from there, it was like a pack of us. We just bailed over there and shit, man, and we started messing with the trains and looking up in them and you know how when you get up to the trains and when they transfer them cars, you can see through it. Some of them you can see, oh, that's a car. You can see their cars.
Right.
But this how the trains was. We can walk up to them. We start seeing there was stuff in them. So we started looking for tools and shit to start breaking the locks to get up in them. But the crazy part about it was the shit wasn't locked up.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You know, you would expect these big old humongous padlocks on this shit. They wasn't locked up. They had the little old, how you describe it? You know, the little pins. When you put the pin jacks in there, your pins, and you twist the pins in, they had them on there, the big pins, like, where you could just clip that shit.
Right.
Take supplies and yank them off.
Yeah.
And so, it basically, they gave us easy access to them.
Right.
And that's how we got a hold to the guns. So, from 78, going on and through the 80s, and this is what brought us into the bloody 80s, the guns hit the streets of Watts, heavy, like a wildfire.
Right.
And that's when multiple murders took place.
What came first? You shooting somebody or you getting some pussy? It's a lot of killers out here with bodies that ain't had no pussy. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being 13, 14. It's a few niggas my age that was already turned out. You know, I was the one that everybody knew, but I was dribbling my basketball to the park. Everybody left me alone. You know what I'm saying? But I had a few friends I know for sure caught a body before they had some pussy. And that's a fucked up existence.
Hey, ain't it? Because chances are you may not come back from that one body. You ain't had none. Huh?
Yeah, that's yeah. But you know, I think that's a very interesting thing, man, being introduced to violence before love. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting question, Craig.
Yeah.
Craig say, which one did I have first, TV Land? Did I catch the body first? Or did I get a piece of pussy? Man, I got my piece of ass, man, 13. Kansas City, Missouri, man. My babysitter, man. I ain't finna sit here and bullshit.
Oh, you from Missouri?
Yeah. My babysitter fine ass, man. It went down, man.
Yeah,
Me and my cousin Michael.
So you from St. Louis or Kansas City?
Missouri,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it went down, man, yeah.
Shout out to my uncle. My uncle been in Kansas City since 88.
Pretty ass, man. She was 18, bruh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's interesting, though. So that story is true. I never knew really, how true it was. But my dad used to live in the Nickersons in the early 70s, and he's told me stories about shit like that. Let's talk about the Silvers. Did you ever fuck with the Silvers?
Oh, man, listen. Hey, man. You did your homework, Craig.
Oh, man.
You did your homework. Because, see, you digging stuff out of me I ain't even talked about yet that I was going to be able to talk about on other platforms, man. See, nigga, we grew up with the Silvers.
Hell yeah.
Feel me?
Sure,
the Platters, the Platters lead singer was my homies that we played baseball together. That's our homie's father, Mr. Lynch.
Right.
The Lynches, you feel me?
Right.
Yeah, I used to go to their house and play as a kid. Platinum plaques all on the wall in the projects.
Yeah.
It's the first time I seen a real platinum plaque or a gold plaque. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, but the Silvers went to 111th Street School.
Yeah.
I graduated from 108th and Broadway. 107th and Broadway. My sisters and brothers and them, they went to 111th and 112th during that time. But yeah, they grew up in the projects, man. They used to run around in the projects. They was doing their concerts. They practiced at the gym a few times at our gyms.
Right. Yeah. Heck yeah.
That was back then. That's when the break through the Barry Whites.
Right.
Whispers. See, we used to go to my daddy. Now I remember when my daddy used to take us to the 50s to 52nd Park. I know it's in the 50s, but that's where they used to South Park. They used to have a free concerts there.
Right.
You know, back then. So, I mean, it's just crazy, bro, because when you just look back and you think back from how the globe has turned in time, it's like, man, it was really, really some beautiful times and beautiful moments for us as a black culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like what these kids see today and what people see today isn't the way it always been, man, for us, bro. We had inner peace.
Right.
We had unity. We had, hey, put that shit, stop that shit over there, you know? We had that, hey, what are you doing, man? You don't disrespect your elder like that.
Yes, sir.
We had all that shit in place, bro, which was called protocol, discipline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So so you hit the pen 79.
No. I hit
YA 79.
Yeah, YA. I ended up getting that 70 life, you know, that 70 life bid in YA where I ended up doing 5 years off my 7 bid. I paroled, got out, came home, got out by 82, stayed out for about 13, 14 months, caught my first prison joke, went to prison, pleaded out, ended up pleading out on a high power publicity case, and pleaded out on that case for 5 years, which was the HK case.
So when you first went to YA in 79, the Gardens was already officially Bloods, right?
Oh, yeah.
So talk about that experience, because me growing up in a Damu neighborhood, not being a gangbanger, I'm a comedian, but all my family is on that side of the spectrum. I always hear stories about the late 70s, early 80s, and how if you was a Blood, a Damu, and you was going to the pen or the county, you had to be official. You couldn't be no in-between, sidewinder, suck-ass nigga. You really had to, you know, put your demo down. Talk about being a Blood, a Damu, going to the county jail, going to prison, early 80s, late 70s.
It's funny you asked that question, Craig, because I just did this live the other day, speaking on that, right? On how I sit back as the double OG that I am, man, and I'm so blessed in so many ways from a physical perspective, bro, as well as mentally, financially, and just spiritually, to even just still be here. For us to sit here as the men that we are, the kings that we are, to exchange this dialogue and talk like this, bro, I'm blessed, and I appreciate it from Allah, right? But then I sit back, bro, and I look back on this shit, and I tell myself, as smart and wise as I am, that I gave 30 years of my life to this shit, bro, and for what?
Right.
And then I look at all my homies, as well as Crip niggas that I know as homies, that I consider as homies, that's stuck in them systems for the rest of their fucking life for believing in this shit.
Right.
For really, really believing in some shit that once upon a time we were so brainwashed, you couldn't tell us red didn't exist and it wasn't a true factor, or blue didn't exist and it wasn't a true factor.
Right.
We was all fucking bamboozled. And we talking about, it was some thorough leaders, some real thorough leaders that was breeded during them eras, them 70s and them 80s, coming up out them blood ages. Some real strong dudes, bro, that could have went on to be some real strong, prominent men in life on different forms. You feel me? But we were so brainwashed and toe up from this gang shit, it was like, so for me to still be here and be free, I look back on it and it's like, it's a living testimony for me, bro.
Right.
It's like I have no other choice, no other grounds that if I'm gonna do this, I have to be able to import this in the right form, in the right way, and let these youngers know the real. That, bro, listen, you niggas couldn't say, Sue, whoop, 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 what's bracking? Blood, bigger rat, big and back, being bull. You niggas couldn't say none of that shit if it wasn't niggas like me and niggas like your big homies, your uncles, your daddies, even your grandfathers who bleeded for this blood shit, died for this blood shit, because we was always outnumbered 20-1 in the very beginning. So if you niggas wasn't here in the beginning, you would never understand. That's why a lot of you niggas can't understand me. You would never understand, because I really lived this shit. I gave my life up for this shit for real, and I'm still here to speak about it, nigga. You had to be a real one coming out of one of these neighborhoods as a blood. Or them Crips were gonna stomp you out and kill you, my nigga. fuck you won,
Right.
or all the above.
Right.
Feel me? It was because of us. They had to put the cages up in the county jail because they was fucking over our people, bro. They was stomping us out, stabbing us up, beating down on Bloods. The fake Carnation Bloods was catching the blues. Them the niggas was getting fucked, rolled up, stabbed up. The solid Bloods was in there tearing shit up, getting rolled up to the hole, knocking shit down. Every time a gate cracked, niggas was knocking shit down because they wasn't going for it. Feel what I'm saying? So you had to be a real one, bro, in order to even exist in that era. Right. So that shit just, it bothers me when the internet come on here. You got all these old fake ass niggas in the industry. You got these rappers, motherfuckers who went on to make millions of dollars in your life. Why the fuck would you go backwards to want to claim a street you ain't never lived on in your life? I could never understand that shit, Craig. I would never understand it. I find myself on this internet arguing with so many dumbass kids when it come to Baby and Lil Wayne and these niggas, right? Because I speak specifically and significantly on these niggas. And I always tell them and say to the world, it's a lot of these dudes in the game that are industry fake gas gang members to me, and a whole lot of us. We don't respect that. I respect they craft, bro. You can't take nothing from none of these brothers when it come down to their musician craft. Right. I respect that to the fullest.
Straight out.
I respect their craft to the fullest. Now, you can't be mad at me for really giving my life up for something, and then here come a nigga who was fortunate enough to be in position in the right place at the right time, and some Jews cut him a major check and gave him a ride for the rest of his life, and they took advantage of it. You feel me? It makes no sense to me, bruh. But then these dudes want to come down here and claim something that they're not. Intermission time, man. We be right back at y'all, TV land. We be right back at y'all, man. Yeah, right back at y'all, man. Hey, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Y'all at the KraigFacts show, man, in collaboration with RA 2023, man, in conjunction, man, with RA 2023, man. It's your favorite host, man, Bonnie Hunter BJ, CEO Nino Cappuccino, the Breezan, man. Hey, man, for everybody right there, man, the KraigFacts, man, y'all go push that like, share, subscribe button, man. Go on over there to RE, man, Rules of Engagement 2414, man. That's Rules of Engagement 2414. Push that like, share, subscribe button, man, and you shall be notified, man. Y'all see what it do? Get that merch, man. All in the same gang, man. Yeah. Just go to the website, man. www.allinthesame-game, man. Get that merch and put that promo code in and say, Bonnie Hunter BJ sent me, man. Yeah, just tell them Bonnie Hunter BJ sent me, man. 114, man. Bonnie Hunter BJ sent me, man. Yeah. We all in the same gang, baby. I done told people I try to drop in my live, man, when I'm live, man, like this. What's wrong with people, man? What's wrong with people? They don't understand. They don't understand, man.
My bad, y'all. I had to skate, run and open the door and come right back. Hell yeah, but where'd you leave off at? My bad, Bonnie.
Oh, we were talking about these Carnation Bloods. You was asking me the fact about, you know, back then in that time in that era, man, you know, how was it? You know, was it fair game? And now it wasn't fair game, bro. See, just giving you an example of how important it was to us and how significant it was, especially for me being a youngin' and coming up in the rankings and really, really earning my stripes and start earning my leadership role, man, where I was guiding and leading shit, man, to the point where I'm structuring shit. In 1983, being that we were, I had about 24 crimies in the county jail at this time, was my crimies.
Right.
So I had 24 crimies plus another 14, 15 homies that was in there on separate cases from us with their own case. So we talking about at least 32, 33 bounty hunters in one module.
We talking about 79.
Yeah. One module, and we all know each other. We all from the projects.
Oh yeah, y'all was.
But just because we all from the projects, don't mean we all was bounty hunters or lot boys.
Okay, wow.
Let me get this understood right now. That's why I'm putting this out here. Even though 32 of my homies was in the module one time, right? But just because we all from the projects, see, it's a difference. You can, like we was talking about a few nights ago, you could be from a neighborhood because you grew up over there. So you know what? Automatically you're gonna be branded over there as an associate because you're associated with that neighborhood.
Right.
Then you could become a member, meaning you run around with actual active gang members, but you're not an active gang member.
Right.
So that puts you in the member stage. What makes a difference is the niggas from the set. I was from the set from Nickerson Gardens. The niggas from the set are the niggas who put that work in.
Straight
the
up.
gang bangers.
Right.
The niggas that when you hear that, blah, 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 and niggas come running outside, bro, where they come from? Yeah. Oh, they say such a, niggas is running straight in the house, go get their shit, and we on our shit. We ain't asking no questions. We ain't sitting here to my old man, ain't none of that, because we programmed already.
Right.
The niggas from the sets. When you had the meetings and the politic meetings go down, that's us, the niggas from the sets. Right. Not the members. The members don't say shit, can't say shit.
Right.
The associates, not even at the meetings.
Right.
It's all activity niggas.
Straight up.
Feel me? So niggas need to understand the difference. But now in this era, it's a big different ball game. They don't understand it. See, they don't understand the rules because there's no more protocol. There's no more protocol to follow. There's no structure. Behind structure and protocol brings DP, disciplinary. Right. So I said, fuck that shit, homie. One day, I'm noticing a few of my homeboys, they fucking around pussyfooting, they sex playing, niggas running around with towels and shit, playing whole just games, right?
In the pen, right.
No, we're just in the county jail.
The county jail, right.
And so I said, fuck that shit, dog. I'm talking to my dog one day. We chilling up, talking to my dog. I said, bro, you know what, listen, man. I just came with this concept, my nigga. And we got to start separating homies to make sure our car is solid, bro. From any car, other car in here, we got to make, if nothing else, make sure this bounty hunter car is solid. We got homies, just even though they from the project, them niggas ain't gangbangers, Hook. And I was talking to Big Hook. Talked to my homeboy, my road dog, my crimey, Renzi, a.k.a. Big Hook. And I came up with the concept Buster Week.
Oh, you came up with Buster Week.
I invented that, homie. Yeah, me. Straight up.
Okay, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I've heard some people, older people, talk about Buster Week in the county jail.
Yeah, so in 83, I came up, like I said, I had an epiphany. I came up with the concept Buster Week. So what I did was, we utilized it first. We experimented first. When I say we, the bounty hunters. We cleaned out our own backyard first. And then I held a meeting in the day rooms. Because when we used to go in the day rooms, so you go in the day rooms, you hold your meeting. So we go in the day room now, you got the Denver Lanes, you got the Swans, you got the Inglewood families, my homeboy A-Bay and them, Nelly, all riders, you feel me?
Yeah.
Boderack, you feel what I'm saying, me? Straight riders, homies. Big Dan, you know what I'm talking about? Slick Rick, Tom Slick. You got the Pride Rules, you feel me? 4, 5, 6s. So we hold a big meeting, the powwow. And I tell the homies in the day room about the concept. Look, check this out, dog. In order for us to maintain a solid module where we got all solid bloods over here, bro, no matter what set, whether it's the Rolling 20s, the Black P Stones, the Brims, 5.9s, it don't matter what set that's in here right now. In order for us to maintain a solid module, we got to separate the busters. Niggas was looking around like, oh, shit. Like, what the bounty hunter niggas talking about? We got to separate the busters, my nigga. And what I mean by that is we're going to start having Buster Week up in this motherfucker. You know how when the chain come in, and it's 8 or 9 bloods coming in the chain at one time now. Soon niggas getting arrested. They say, I'm a blood. They tell OSS, I'm a blood. So they roll them straight over to the modules. We don't know if them niggas real bloods or not. And so we end up experiencing that shit. Niggas was coming in the module, found out they was Crips.
Oh, trying to run from some shit, right?
Yeah, they running for the Crips and they want to claim Bloods now. Right. Same niggas as Bloods went over there to the Crips and tried to run over there and claim Crip. And the Crips found out, oh, no, you was a Blood, nigga.
Oh,
so niggas was infiltrating. Right. So I shut that shit down with Buster Week. So we came up with the concept Buster Week. So we put the first demos down on some of my own homies. If you niggas don't go to court and you ain't getting down in them holding tanks, we bring that up at Buster Week. You go to fucking visit, and it's the month that we call green light, because we used to call green light months. We'll have a green light week where it's a whole week we call green light. I don't give a fuck if you going on a visit, you going to court, wherever you go and they take them handcuffs off you, you better get down with a Crip, nigga, somewhere. You ain't supposed to come back to the module unless the whole full. That's the only way you come here and they lock you in your cell. You better be up in the hole. That's what we used to call the green light. See, these niggas ain't conditioned like that, bro. They didn't come from under them type of structure and rules. So it's different. So they would never understand us. They would never understand our mind, our frame of mind, how we think, how we maneuver, how we move, and why it make real niggas like me so angry when you look back on this shit. Because niggas gave their life up for this shit.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, man. That's some, yeah.
Let me take me a piece of watermelon on that one.
Bust the wig, man. Yeah, I heard all about that, man. I'm too young to know about it, but as far as experiencing it, but I heard y'all had to press a hard line because y'all was so outnumbered.
Yeah, because see, I watched my homies play for like a week or two, and that shit kept making me mad because I ain't no playful nigga. When I'm locked down, hey, I don't play. I don't smile. When you laugh, I don't do none of that shit, homeboy. I'm angry. I'm tearing shit up, or I'm alone in my cell. I don't fuck around, bro. I'm reading. I'm researching, because I hated being locked up, my nigga. Right. I hated that shit. Wasn't nothing proud about no jail to me.
Right.
Feel me? So when I seen that, that's when I said, you know what? We've been in 2 situations, and that nigga didn't get down. And his excuse was, shit, y'all already had it. Y'all handled it already, man. Y'all already beat the niggas. We don't give a fuck. We beat niggas mercifully. You better get in and get a kick in and stomp in or something, motherfucker.
Right.
And so I said, all right. So they became my first 3. Boom, boom, boom. Bust the week. Let's go. One of them out of that 3, he was like, blood, I'm just gonna roll it up, homie. All right, go ahead, nigga. Get on up out of here. Hey, deputy. We got one. You want to get up out of here? Yeah, man, I ain't no blood, man.
Oh, wow.
Rolled up, boom.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it, when that happened, you would be surprised, Craig. You look up, you see 10, 15 niggas at the gate with their bedrolls from different blood hoods who done rolled it up.
Man.
Because they can't handle that pressure.
Man, that's a lot of pressure. Why'd you learn Swahili?
I would say I wasn't forced to, but I was told to by my big homie, and I'm glad that my big homie told me that I needed to learn it because of my leadership, and that it was our way of communication in the system, especially when I start hiding behind the walls. I ain't talking about the correctional facility. See, it's a big difference again. Niggas be thinking, because you go to a correctional facility, oh, I've been to the P. No, you ain't, nigga. You went to a correctional facility. You went to a school, basically.
Right.
Feel me? It's like Tracy is called dual vocational. Because Tracy was a trade tech school where a nigga can go in there and come out and change his whole life. You can learn how to weld, build a house, whatever it was, be a doctor, a dentist. Tracy had all those trades for that. That's why it's called dual vocational trade center.
Right.
Folsom is a penitentiary. Calpatrick is a penitentiary. Corcoran is a penitentiary. Pelican Bay is a prison. So niggas don't understand the difference. Just like out of town, nigga, they be going to these correctional facilities, don't understand. You ain't in no prison. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big difference, Craig. Major big difference, man.
Man, that's hell yeah. So, man, you know, it's one thing that brought us together when I met you the other day at the boxing event. There's a historical thing that happened in your hood that has probably never happened in no other hood in Los Angeles, I believe. I mean, to the capacity that it happened. So, the Hawkins family. So, what was your first experience as a youngster with the Hawkins family? Like, what are some of your earliest memories? You know, what was your interactions like before y'all got into the war?
The arcade was really our actual connection to the Hawkins. Was the arcade that they had built on the corner of Imperial Highway, right across the street from our neighborhood, which we all played in.
Right.
And this was during the Pac-Man days. The Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Mr. Pac-Man, Centipedes.
That's what they call me where I'm from, Pac-Man. And some people, oh, they call him Pac. Yeah, they call me Pac.
That's the Pac-Man.
Because I'm yellow and I eat a lot. Monty Margaret gave me that name, man.
So yeah, man. So we used to go over there and play Pac-Man, man. And of course, my homies from the L gang, Lot Boys. Shout out to my homies. At a young age, a couple of my homies became creators. And when I say that, they were the reason why Imperial Highway became hot for about a straight decade. And they couldn't figure out, like, damn, what the fuck is going on Imperial, and how are they doing this? And what I mean by that is, my homies, some of my homies from the Lot Boys, you know what I mean? I won't just mention specific names, but just some of my homies, real ones, they created this situation called Dush and Grab. And Dush and Grab was, you could take a pebble. They would take a pebble, about this, a boulder, I want to say, a steely, let's call it a steely. And you would take a boulder about the size of this toilet paper roll right here. See, Craig?
Right.
And now, coming down Imperial Highway, anything coming out of Linwood is white, gonna be all white. Coming up Imperial, because remind you, wasn't no 105, you gotta go all the way to the 110 freeway to get to the freeway. That means you gotta drive through black neighborhoods, the ghettos. You gotta cross Imperial Courts, Mona Park, then the Nixon Garden, then Broadway to get on 110 freeway. That's how it was. So my homies at 12, 13, 11 years old, smart as them young niggas was, came up with the idea, Dush and Grab. The cars had to pull up, and we used to have a light right on Success that connected right in the projects. All the cars had to stop right there. Boy, people hated that shit back then. They hated that because that's when the Nixon Guard had that worrisome, gruesome reputation. Don't stop on Imperial. Don't drive down Imperial. Don't drive down Central. Don't drive down Wimbledon. Man, you don't even want to get caught over there in them perimeters, bro, fucking with them bounty hunters.
Right.
So we had a light on Success. That light would stop all the traffic between Compton Avenue and Success. So guess what? That's all our hood. From Compton Avenue all the way down to Success, that's all projects. They would run up to the window when the ladies pull up in their car, old white ladies and shit, and they purse sitting on the seat, poof, all you hear was poof, and that whole window would shatter, and you see a hand reach right in and reach right out in seconds. And they mastered this shit like a science. So when I got wind to it, I seen it a couple times. What the fuck them niggas? And you can hear the scream, oh, lady scream. And I'm like, oh, them niggas jacking somebody. It's a robbery. But it's not an actual robbery with a gun. It was a Dush and Grab. So I caught one of my road dogs and one of my niggas doing it one morning. And I went with them. So I liked it. But I didn't have the heart to throw the pebble and reach in there to grab it because I was thinking, I'm going to cut my arm up or something. So I never would do that move. But my leadership and my manipulation and my mouthpiece, I knew how to put the moves together and direct, and I still get my cut. Right. So I became the lookout man. I became the architect. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the Lot Boys, man, created Dush and Grab, nigga. Yeah. So any of you niggas out there talking about Dush and Grab or how niggas used to hit the window, snatch the purse, that came out of Nixon Gardens first. Okay, no niggas contest that or debate that. It came out of the Nixon Gardens first on Imperial Highway at Success Light, man. That's why they tore our light down.
So let's talk about that then. So that's the environment we have, which is a very volatile environment. Jacking, dope dealing, gang banging. Then you got this family across the street from the Nickerson Gardens called the Hawkins family. If y'all haven't seen the documentary, go on YouTube, type in PBS documentary about the Hawkins family. It's a very interesting situation, very unique situation. So now we got the Hawkins family. So y'all doing all this on Imperial, which is the other side. On the other side of that lies the arcade, the burger stand.
Yeah, at this time, what you guys see today, that's not the picture.
Okay.
It was just the old rubbish piece of land with a house built on it, and they had a little candy store and a hamburger stand, and all that was connected all together with the arcade.
Right.
Now inside the arcade was a little room. It would be a little room which would host about 4 to 5 games. So you just say in the square perimeter, like once you walk in the door, everything is just squared off. You can see the games like squared off.
Right. Okay.
So it was just that little room. But then you have this window right here you can walk to order your hamburgers and your slushies and stuff.
Right. So and behind the counter was normally one of the family members, James Hawkins Sr., Jr., one of the boys, the mom, somebody.
It would be Pops and the daughter. Pops and the daughter or one of the sons, they was cooking.
Right. Okay.
Pops maintained the store primarily all the time. So he had the store. The store was separated. Like you can either walk in the store and make your order, or you can make your order inside the arcade at the little window.
Right. Okay, so normally y'all coming to the store, the family's greeting y'all with respect and love, or was it always a volatile situation, or did it change as you got older and they started to perceive you as a threat because you becoming an older young man now? Like, what was the interactions with
for us as kids, bro? We always thought they was assholes, like mean. Like we always thought the old man was kind of mean, like, because he had attitude, and he used to look at the people in the projects, like, look down on us, like,
okay,
because y'all had a little money and you had property over here and shit.
Right,
they used to look down on us, so we always felt that.
Yeah, right.
But some of the kids, they would be nice, they would speak or be cordial, like the daughters or one of the sons or something. But primarily the father and that the son,
the oldest son.
Hey, man.
James Jr.
Straight assholes.
Right. Okay, cool.
Attitude.
Were they always pushing Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benzes? And because that's one thing I noticed watching that documentary and seeing y'all on it, it really amazed me. The Nickerson Gardens is, that's a treacherous hood. That's not a hood to be played with, never has been. So for this family to be directly across the street, and Pops had, I think, a gold Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Multiple cars. Like, how were they able to exist in y'all hood like this and not have to pay the piper, or not have to pay no tax, or not have to check in? How was they able to just function that way, without being under the, checking in with y'all?
Well, first of all, a couple of my big homegirl was married into the family. She ended up eventually married into the family. A couple of my people were connected. And then they were connected to the projects. Like a couple of the daughters was connected. So there was a connection. It wasn't like there was no connection with them to the projects. There was a connection. We just didn't ever look at him in that fashion where we looked at him from a gullible sense, like, oh, you know what? We need to go rob the Hawkins because they got money over there.
Right.
He got a gold Rolls Royce. We just, like we said, we knew he was the old man, the ex-sheriff, who came into town, bought that land over there, had land before it was all farm, and he was the sheriff. He was best friends with Tom Bradley, the mayor at that time.
Right.
And so we never really just tripped on him like that.
So they was rooted in the community.
Yeah, we basically,
right.
To be honest with you, bro, we gave him his respect and gave that family their props and their respect because they were rooted to us in the community. And like I said, that hamburger stand, that arcade was a part of our playground. So everybody lived on 115, on the 5, coming from 112, 113, 111. They would go to that arcade. It was either there or Jordan hamburger stand. We had Jordan hot dogs. So we had those two specific places. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. We had 3. We got Stops, HKs, then we got Jordans. Those were all 3 of our monuments.
Right.
So those was our 3 choices to eat outside of, okay, if we're not on our way to school, then we go to Tanya Manning's. We go to the Manning's, get a Manning burger.
Right.
Which was a little spot connected to a beauty salon on Compton Avenue across the street from 111th Street School.
Right.
So these places meant something to us in the community.
Right.
So we of course, we were safe haven, we would guard them. So that's basically why he never got messed with or got robbed, because we looked at him as, he was a part of us, a part of the community.
Right.
But until they start getting cocky, and over the years, that place started growing in money, and we started noticing, them niggas ain't just over there selling no damn hamburgers.
It's got to be something else.
Some shit going on.
Yeah, y'all got to watch the documentary to fill in, man.
Yeah.
We lead to a very special place, man, because so just stay along for the ride, y'all. Trust me. If you got any questions in the comment, I'll put the link to the documentary in there so y'all can figure out what we talking about. So, all right, cool. So the youngster that ended up getting killed by the pops or the brother, he was a lot boy.
Yes.
Okay, so he used to participate in those window smash and grabs.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when you watch the documentary, James Hawkins Jr. makes it seem like he took a gun and shot because your boy went in there and got into it with somebody, I guess. I don't really know the specifics. You know, the documentary says it one way, but talk about how your boy end up getting killed, what really happened as opposed to what James Hawkins said happened.
Man, the bottom line was, dude ass was on some bullshit. Dude was already on the run. Let's make this clear. He was already a thorough killer. That nigga was a hitter, a real grown man we was dealing with. We wasn't fucking with no boy. We wasn't fucking with no nigga in his 20s.
Was y'all scared?
Hell no. We wasn't scared. We were just as crazy as he was, man. We was just as amped and not caring and not giving a shit as he was at this time because it was our family member. You feel me?
Right.
So no, we wasn't scared, man. We was just young niggas, young crazy niggas and wild niggas, man, just on one at the time. But the bottom line was, here you got a set of guys. You got 4 guys sitting on Imperial Highway, coming out of the projects, young. This is what they do on a day-to-day basis to try to survive, make money, doing their thing. They come on Imperial Highway, they lay back on the grass, they watching Imperial. All of a sudden, here come this white family coming down Imperial from out of Linwood on their way to the beach on bicycles. Because that's the only way they can get to the beach. See, and back then, that's another thing used to be big. All the white folks would ride their bikes from Linwood area or from Compton area and hit Imperial and ride all the way straight down to Play Their Rail, to the beach. That was something big back then. So they ride bikes all the way. And then we started doing it out the projects. I started doing it when I was young. So I started taking a team out of the projects and teaching my homies how to leave out the hood and let's get out, man, and start doing things. So as a young age, I started exploring and doing it because I seen the white folks do it. So I asked my daddy one day, I said, Daddy, do Imperial take us all the way straight to the beach? So my daddy put me in the car one day and drove me from my hood all the way down Imperial straight to the beach and showed me how to get there and told me once the street run out, because when you get to Aviation, it runs down, you got to go over. So he say, you're going to cut through that overpath, y'all going to take the street. And that street going to take you straight on out. And that's how I learned how to go to the beach on Imperial.
Wow.
And so these white folks was driving down Imperial, rolling down Imperial on their bikes, and my homies and them robbed them. And the fool James intervened and took the bikes back and stopped them. So as he stopped them and intervened.
Junior or senior?
Junior. He got into an argument with my homies. And that's what led to the argument. So my homies, they being young, these dudes was 12 and 14 and 15 years old. The oldest dude was 15, which was LB Tony. Then you had Byron Decker, which was Cody, and Eminem. And so they young. They kids, basically, teens. So my homies went on back across the street to mind their business, arguing with this old grown-ass nigga. They went on mind their business, sit back down, waiting on another victim, basically. And so T decided, man, go play the arcade game. So he got up, walked across the street, him and them, walked across the street, went into the arcade, and started playing the game, man, and minding their own business. That fool was doing some mechanical work on his old-ass Mercedes-Benz. He had a Mercedes-Benz, the diesel, the 2-door diesel. Never forget it. He had a 2-door diesel Mercedes-Benz, and he was working on it. They walked in the arcade, and they started playing the arcade game. That fool took it up on himself to walk in there and fuck with my homeboys and tell them, get the fuck out of here. You can't be on this property. I don't want you on my daddy property. Come over here. He argued with my homies. So they talking about, fool, like, I just put my quarter in there, man. Let me play my game. He said, I just say, get the fuck him out of here. He said, what? And he left out, and that son bitch went to his car, bust his trunk open, bro, and got a sawed-off illegal, because they was illegal then. Handmade. It's a sawed-off double barrel look like. It's this big. Feel me? Got out of his car, walked up to my homies, had it on the side like this, walked over there. Now, mind you, this dude is every bit of 6'3", give and take 6, probably 6'4". 245, 260, lean, chopped up, straight hitter. Feel me? Walked up to my little homie, grabbed his kid. It's a kid, a little boy. Grabbed him, stuck that motherfucker in his chest, man. Blew his shit out, bro.
Man.
Blew his shit out, homie. So the homie ran across the street and died on the nigga food Byron Decker porch, man. And that was the beginning of everything, man.
Man. Yeah, that's a wild one. So that's James Jr. Killed your boy was what, 12 years old?
14.
14.
Going on 15 years old, man.
So that kicked off a war between the Hawkins family and your particular clique of home. Well, the Lot Boys, but you stepped in as the big homie and basically captained the war.
Well, what it was he was an LB and I'm a bounty hunter. But me and Hook was best friends. We childhood friends. And Hook is one of them guys from the LBs. You know what I'm saying? You got Hook, you got Big Loaf, you got my homeboy Scoop, rest in peace, and you got Tony Ray, TC, you got Big Green Eyes, G Eyes. You know what I'm saying? And so Hook told the homies, go find BJ. Cause niggas know I'm going.
Right.
And they know I'm a real trigger man. You feel me?
Right.
I grew up with this shit for real. So it wasn't gonna be no play. So once they got a hold of me, then I put everything else in the mix and it was history, bro.
Right. Okay, so bam. So the homie get killed the first day. What's day 2 like?
In an uproar. It's going down.
Yeah.
Going down. Day 1, the homie get killed day 1. We don't wait. Ain't no waiting. When I told you, the dudes from the set is a whole different ball game.
Right.
Ain't no waiting. Get your tears out, it's a wrap. Oh, you cry? Okay, come on, let's go. Ain't no waiting. Boom. First night, we smashed them. Second night, allowed them to get organized a little better because we hit their ass so hard the first night and unexpectedly. So the second night allowed them to get organized. And the second night is when I found out, oh, damn. You mean tell me for 3 days and 3 nights we was in a shootout with the police, the sheriffs, and SWAT?
Okay, so that's the part of it that really gets interesting, that makes this different than a normal, gang war, is the fact that the father of James, who was the person that killed the homie from the Lot Boys, is best friends with the mayor of L.A., who was, what's his name again? Marion Barry?
Mayor Tom Bradley.
Mayor Tom Bradley. I always get them two niggas confused. So Tom Bradley and James Hawkins Sr., who owns the liquor store, are best friends. So Pops' friend comes to the aid of the family and makes it look to the world like the Lot Boys or the bounty hunters are basically picking at this family and kind of making them the victims of illegal gang activity, when in actuality, the son murdered a 14-year-old child.
You hit it right on the nose, man.
Man, so we say all that to say, Mayor Bradley commissioned the police to help the Hawkins family kill bounty hunter Bloods. Basically gave them a free license to go to war with y'all and provided guns and police to fight against y'all.
You hit it right on the nose, man.
So when did you realize that? When did you realize, damn, we ain't just shooting at the family like this. This is regular police shooting at us. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Day 2, like I said, day 2 was when we hit him with the car, and I decided to ramshack the car into the building.
You say you hit him with the car. What you mean?
Yeah, and again, man, disclaimer with this, man. I've already done time. So I'm able to speak to this at this point in time with Craig, and I'm only speaking in certain little specifics of it, but not giving specific details, story by story.
Right.
But however, like I said, we knew that at some form I had to have some type of entry, like how we gonna get over there to these some bitches, because we We're not doing this across the street shit. We going to them. That's my whole demeanor. We going to them. We taking this shit right to these some bitches. To their steps, their front door, everything. They out of here. We running their ass up out of here. It would no longer, that corner would no longer exist on Imperial when I'm finished. That was my mind frame. So in order for me to do that, the arcade had to be damaged in some form in order for that to be our interest, because the house is built on the corner. You got a blockade. You have a fence here that leads into their actual house and their driveway in order to get into their house or their property. So the concept was, again, something that was taught at an early age from my father, my veteran uncles, because I got 3 veteran uncles that was veteran war veterans as well, crazy niggas. And so I knew how to excel a car without a driver in it.
Right. So you knew how to make a car go with no driver.
When I tell you this, and like I say, for a lot of my homies that followed my lead back then, I was a MacGyver to a lot of my niggas, because at a young age, I did shit that the average young niggas couldn't do. They wouldn't even think of that shit, because it was like, this nigga would come up with some shit.
Right.
Feel me? But it was just conditioning me that was already embedded from my father. And then me always being taught different stuff and me always wanting to learn. Right. And then me being in the streets now, the big homies start teaching me. I'm watching these niggas. I'm watching the gangsters. I'm watching the real hitters and the killers do shit. So I'm like, okay. So we took the car, made it accelerate. I put 2 individuals in the car. Boom. The first time the car went, it stopped in the middle of Imperial before you even get to the property. It just stopped. They rolled out, broke, ran back to us. I said, damn, blood, it stopped. I was like, what you want us to do, B? I said, go back, get the car. Go back and get it. So we stepped out in Imperial, put cover on them, put shield on them to make sure in case they start busting on the homies, we retrieve fire. They let us go get the car.
So y'all sent the car the first time. Car stopped in the middle of Imperial. They allowed y'all to come back and get the car.
This what fucked me up that day when I knew, oh shit, we up against SWAT, police, LAPD. They merged 3 different departments together basically. After Tom Bradley made the call and made the conference and said, I want them fucking bounty hunters.
Right.
I want every fucking individual involved. I want them. And that's when they brought 3 different law departments together on us. And that's who was over there on the property. I didn't know this until the second night. So again, reflecting back to that, the car stopped the first time. We had to go retrieve it, bring it back. I said, listen, I told him again, I said, listen, put the stick on there. Move. Matter of fact, move. I put it on there. Once I put it on there, I said, as soon as y'all get in that distance where I told you the marker, just excel it and roll. Remember what I said, tuck and roll. Don't jump out, tuck and roll. Feel me? It's a difference. So they both did just how I directed. My homies rolled the car up. The car, you heard the engine go, and you could see the car going into the building. They tucked the roll. Before the car even made it to the building, this time, when they let their ass jump out, man, let them have it. Blacka, booga, blacka, blacka, blacka. They on my homies. We firing back. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, blue. We behind the buildings. They behind buildings. And they on the roofs. But now what made me retrieve fire and made me retrieve my crew was I seen the snipers on the building.
Right.
And bro, when I tell you it scared the shit out of me, because my little brother, rest in peace, he taller than me. And he had just stood up with a shotgun. And my relative Birdman was on his side. And my little brother just stood up. He coming up to get ready to come up. And the motherfucker bullet said, Paka, and knocked all the chalk out the building. And I snatched my baby brother down to the ground. Boom. And I told the homies, retreat. Hoop of love. Hoop of love. And they already knew what I was meant. When I said hoop of love, that means we meet up on Hooper. And so it was like, hoop of love, hoop of love. And we start breaking from there, from where we was on the fire to hoop of love. And them motherfuckers was on it. Blah, 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 bloop. You could see bullets flying into the projects. They just kept, but they didn't care now. They was on us.
Yeah.
So my homeboy Eminem got shot in the ass that night. Got a whole chunk knocked out his ass cheeks.
Yeah, man.
You feel me?
Man.
And that's what let me know we were up against it with them. And not only that, the homegirl came and told us. Because like I said, we had a homegirl was kind of like spying. She was playing both sides. Because like I say, she was fucking one of the brothers.
Right.
But then she would come tell us shit that was going on.
Right.
So that's how we found out that she said, y'all, it's the police over there. That's SWAT and the police, and they got all kind of motherfuckers over there. I'm like, what? And that's how we found out. So the last night was like, it was just all out. You feel me?
So the car. So okay, bam. So y'all realize it's police. So how do you change your game plan from then on when you realize it's police? Because you can't go to war with the police the same way you go to war with niggas.
Well, I basically changing my game plan was I just fell back for a minute that particular day, and that, like I say, that third day, we already by us knowing what we was up against. That's when I just said, okay, you know what? We got to hit their ass in a whole nother different direction. We're going to hit them spontaneously now. We're going to hit them at their other situations, their other properties, their other areas. And that's when I sent them other areas, and we sent them, we hit them spontaneous. You know, that's the funeral parlor and all that other stuff and all the other stuff that occurred and went down, you know what I mean? All those things took a chain event all in that one particular day. It happened spontaneously. So we just took the approach on a whole different approach. You know what I mean? And that's what it was, man. So for 3 days and 3 nights rather, not 3 straight days, but for 3 nights, you know, we got into it specifically not knowing that we were into it with the law, you know, that they had help. We thought it was just that family in general. We thought it was just them and thought it was the family, but all the time they had help. They had help, primarily had help from 3 different law departments, 3 different situations because Tom Bradley had made the call. So that put the pressure on us. And from there, that applied pressure, and from that applying pressure, then they start making their arrests, you know, start coming in and putting the warrants down for the arrest.
I'm going to tell y'all, man, we doing this interview, right? I'm on this watermelon and water diet, right? I'm off a half a gallon a day. And I done exited about 2 or 3 different times, man. Try not to piss on myself, man. I apologize for that, man. Let me see what it's looking like to them. Yeah, so y'all can watch that documentary, man, so y'all know we not bullshitting. It's very rare that you meet a street general that had the heart to knowingly go to war with the police. And that's one of the main things that interests me about this Hawkins family situation is that, you know, I had never heard of no shit like that. I mean, I grew up hearing about police planting dope on people and planting guns on niggas, but I had never heard of a mayor giving the police permission to go to help a family go to war with a street gang. You know, that was something that, you know, that really baffled me. I'm surprised that more people don't know about this story.
Well, they'll know about it when we get through. They'll know about it because we got something in the makes we building on right now, man. When I say we, talk about me and KraigFacts and a few others, man, of interest. So y'all stay tuned, stay prepared. I'm sitting on the 3-part series of it, man.
Right.
Written already, ready to go. True story, true events based on true story, true events based on my life and Lorenzo Foreman life, man. And James Hawkins Jr. and James Hawkins Sr., man. It's called Shootout on Imperial Highway, man. Y'all get ready, man. We gonna bust y'all upside y'all head, man.
For real, real spill. Watch the documentary because I know a lot of y'all, when you first hear, if I tell you the story and you don't watch the documentary, you're gonna feel like we lying. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel like we lying. But once you watch the documentary and you see what this is really all about, I first got privy to it about 3 years ago. When I started watching it, and I probably done watched it about 50 times. And every time I watch it, I see something different because there's so much shit happening. in this documentary. It's way too much for one person to really digest because it's so much unbelievable shit. You know what I'm saying? So please watch it. This is part 1 of this interview. You know, I would love to go into more detail at some point.
Let me jump in and intervene and say this though, Craig, right quick before closing, if we closing out. Yeah. TV Land, I need y'all to understand this first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm an advocate. I'm like one of the main individuals, man, that was involved in this shit right here, bro. Then they try to twist or flex me up for me just in this whole situation as far as the doc itself. Now we young cats. They come down and they do these interviews on us, bro, based on experiment of young youths and why do they commit murders and what's making our young youth exchange to gangs at this time, right?
Right.
So we do these interviews. This is how PBS even ended up getting interviews on us in the first place because we agreed with it with our attorneys at that time, but we young, we 17, 18 years old. We don't know you niggas finna take this and make it into an actual doc TV series because we in prison. We never seen this shit until now, 30-something years later.
Right.
But they try to turn around and make this family like they was heroes.
Right.
What I need y'all to understand, TV Land, is this. Do your research and your homework. Go back in the time and Google, because Google allow you now, and Google search the young girl, 15 years old from Carver Park that was shot in the back, in the head, in the back by Hawkins Sr. for some fucking candy, a pack of annihilators. A few weeks prior to Lot Boy Tony getting killed. It was a double murder occurred in that community of Watts, and the community was in an uproar and fed up. That's what led us to that family, bro.
Man, that's some wild shit. I mean, you know, we talking about James Sr., James Jr. was a monster. James Jr., when I got to find out more about James Jr., I'm like, this was a real gangster right here. This is late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Bumpy Johnson. This is one of them niggas, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I asked earlier if you was scared. I know y'all, somebody in the comments was like, what you mean scared? This wasn't the average motherfucker that killed his homie.
Nah.
You know, so one thing.
At that point was, when you're a young nigga coming up in the rankings, man, like I was, and what is it to be scared of when you done already conditioned yourself? A fear is not even a factor.
Right.
I lost everything in this world I love, homie. You think I give a fuck about a grown nigga killing me? Right. Kill me, nigga. That's what you're gonna have to do. Or I'm killing you. It's gonna be either I'm gonna kill you because I want the reputation and points. You gonna have to kill me.
Right.
So that was my whole mentality, bro. I didn't give a fuck about that. I was suicidal, bro, for damn near 30 years. I couldn't kill my own life. I don't have the heart to do that. Right. I can't take a gun and pull the trigger. It ain't never happened, bro.
Yeah.
But for another nigga to do it, I offer myself a lot of niggas to do it. If you're gonna do it, nigga. Because I went out like that as a gangbanger. Because I rebelled against God. I hated. I was mad. I was angry, bro. So I didn't give a shit about dying.
Right.
Niggas knew what. My homies, I used to pull up in spots, bro, jump out my beeper, go out, blood, pull over. No, homie, this such a, nigga, pull over. Nigga started answering my phone like, blood, you crazy, nigga, we in such a, nigga, get the thing out and just stay watch, nigga. I jump right out and use the phone, my shit in my hand. Yeah. Didn't give a fuck. Right. I know I'm in enemy hood because I was on one like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until I really started developing that sense of coming back to myself, and that didn't happen until after my kids was born, and I started having my children, bro, and realized, okay, it's not just me now. Like when I had my first son, I regret because I cheated my baby, because I didn't give my baby me. He had all the material shit, had a roof over his head, moms had all the shit she needed and wanted. They wasn't wanting for nothing, but I didn't give them me. The street still had me. Right. When it came to my twins, I devoted me to my twins, bro. Streets couldn't get me. I was, at that time, I'm retired, I'm gone. Fuck these streets. Fuck you niggas. I gave you niggas 30 years. I'm finna get this to my kids. So I gave my devotion to my babies, and that's what really turned me around and changed me, bro. I delivered my kids, first of all, with these hands. That's been through all kind of shit. I delivered 2 babies out of the womb, cut the umbilical cord, and named them on the spot, and raised them by myself. They 21 years old right now today, bro.
Man, that's wild. Yeah, that's,
feel me?
Yeah, top notch, man. For real. Shout out to the twins.
Yeah, man. Little Nino and Nina, man.
Man, so on James Hawkins Jr., so I guess they had a pact with the police where the police told the Hawkins family, hey man, do what y'all got to do to protect yourself from the bounty hunters. If y'all need anything, we got you. We sending y'all other police to help y'all in this war. So they had an agreement to do things a certain way, and then James Hawkins Jr., because of something, said, fuck that agreement. I'm going rogue. And start offing motherfuckers running up in people's houses, just doing some Rambo type shit. Or talk about that. Were you aware of the stuff he was doing outside of the agreement?
Yeah, man. See, what the PBS don't show is they don't show the dark side of the Hawkins.
Right.
Them motherfuckers got a dark side over there, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that funeral parlor wasn't built on bodies alone.
Right.
Niggas wasn't riding around in Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benz and Watts in the 70s because they were just making funeral parlor money and flipping hamburgers.
Right.
Niggas was pushing over there, man.
Yeah.
They was just doing all the above over there, man. All kind of crooked shit was popping over there, man. Feel me? And only the us real street niggas who was paying attention really knew what the hell was going on. Hey, we just gave niggas a pass and didn't fuck with them.
Right.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Check this out, man. That funeral parlor, you know what embalming fluid is, right? Okay, I don't gotta say no more. We talking about PCP days. Put it together.
Well, yeah. We're going to conclude this episode, man. Part 2, we're going to give y'all some more details. I need y'all to get educated on this particular situation, though, because we got some plans with this. We're going to make a movie or a film out of this, and we want y'all to see it so you know we ain't bullshitting. I put the link in the comment, the Hawkins family documentary. You type watch after that, it'll pop right up. Watch that documentary. And when we have Bounty Hunter BJ back, we're going to go into those details because we ain't even got to the real interesting parts of this story yet. This is way more layered than what you know. But we got the mayor, the Hawkins family versus the Bounty Hunter Bloods. And BJ was the general in the war versus the Hawkins family and the police.
On that note, man, y'all already know my motto, man. Uncut, man. For the people, by the people, to the people, man. It's your favorite host, man, of ROE, man. Bounty Hunter BJ, CEO Nino Cappuccino, the brand, man. Hey, man, y'all go follow me, man, at Rules of Engagement 2414. Or go hit me at Cappuccino Films, Inc., man. That's both YouTube channels. Cappuccino Films, Inc., or Rules of Engagement 2414, or Bounty Hunter BJ at IG. Or just say, man, BountyHunterBJ.com, man. Everything will pop up on you, man. Man, it's been a pleasure, man. Craig, man.
It's all love. Thank you for coming. I just put the link to the doc in there, man. Make sure y'all watch it so the next time we have OG on, y'all know what the fuck we talking about. Also, man, I'm going to be in New York September 14th at Broadway Comedy Club. Get your tickets before they sell out, G. For real, me, Big Ja, Boo Capone, Ken Edwin. We're going to be telling jokes and roasting, man. Y'all need to be in the building. And guess what? On Thursday, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm giving away some free computers, some free computer desks, some computer accessories, gaming controllers. Y'all might want to sign up for that, man. I'm going to put the link in there. Go to the landing page, which is coolermaster.vip. Sign up. And be giving some free shit. You got to sign up because I got to know where I'm going to send this shit once I do the raffle, man. So make sure y'all sign up immediately. I'm putting the ticket links to the show right now in the comments. Can't wait to see y'all there, man. Me, Big Ja, Boo Capone, Ken Edwin. We're going to be roasting and having a good time at Broadway Comedy Club in New York, man. Let me put that in there for y'all.
You got Boo up in that. You got Boo up in that lineup, man.
Yeah, Boo Capone,
that
man.
Goofy, crazy ass nigga.
Yeah, man.
That's the black bubble out Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, Boo Capone. That's my nigga. I love him. God. Y'all know the motto.
Let me land, man. Let me land.
But check it out, man. We're gonna wrap up this show. If I owe you something, get it from God. God. Hell yeah, we out.
Oh shit.